So there's a couple subtle things we're going to get to in this class too that I think you'll find useful. Estimation is a very interesting topic. Turns out you as a product owner, you don't estimate. But does that mean you don't care about estimates? No, right? Because it turns out the dev teams do the work. You sort of specify the work or at least prioritize the work that you've gathered from places. But the team is going to do these estimates, and they're going to do it in a way that we call relative estimating. And we're going to help you understand why, even though it may not be tied to concepts of time, that this is actually really useful for you. Because we train the development team very carefully so that they understand that if they tell you this one thing you ask for, it's of a size that we're going to call 1 point, and this other thing, it's of a size we're going to call 5 points, we hope we've taught them that you can now make interesting trade-offs so that if you say, well, I really like this one item, but if it's going to take 5 times the team effort that this one did, I'm going to have to think about that. So a good product owner is always taking the input from the development team, using that to reprioritize the backlog, and then even in many cases negotiating, not only of course with customers, stakeholders, but even with the development team. Because the development team is going to have ideas, they're going to have insights, and they're going to help you find the way to get the best product out with limited resources, which is probably a pretty key for a lot of us, right? How can we get the best possible thing out there? In Scrum, we are about getting the maximum outcome, the best possible outcome, but not always with the maximum output. So understanding the skills to make that happen is really key to success in the Agile world. I think a lot of us are going to be interested in things like, well, so we're moving to this strange new thing called Agile. What's the implications of that for business things, for return on investment? Why are we doing this? So we're going to talk about that kind of stuff a fair bit. That even though this is a very strange new system to many of us, what we're going to see is that when we do it even reasonably right, we're actually going to see that we get a lot more value out in a shorter period of time. And a lot of this is going to be about these key skills of prioritization. So we're going to learn to do work in short time cycles, sprints. Now, it turns out that takes a kind of a new way of thinking about the world. So we're going to have to be able to take a big wish item like a customer thing, break it into some small pieces that will fit nicely into these small iterations or sprints that are often, say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks long, something like that. And so you're going to learn the skills it takes to get value out and to get feedback from these customers faster than we ever did before. And it turns out that's one of the really key things to understand about Agile. We create product, we put it out more often, not just because we're going to be faster to the field, but because going to the field frequently gives us the feedback we need to create the best possible product. So we're going to give you the skills you need to understand that, to create the maximum return on investment for you and your stakeholders. And we're going to do all of that in 2 very jam-packed days and have some fun doing it. So I hope you'll join me.